Hello everybody and welcome to Lost in the World. We're doing a Genshin Impact video today and this one is about who we're going for, Venti or Childe. I think a lot of free-to-play players were kind of shocked, as were well basically the whole community, about Childe coming back on the banner, and I think it's left a lot of people in a bit of a quandary as to what to choose. So we're going to go through the options here and the answer might not be as obvious as you think. So we'll go through people's different playstyles, what might lead them to choosing a certain hero, and go from there. This is kind of an unedited, spitballing type of video where I'm just going to be kind of shooting from the hip and just going for it. So sit back, enjoy, let's have a quick discussion on Childe versus Venti. Okay, so let's talk about Venti first and talk about why he is kind of the de facto choice right now, and that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, Venti has a kit that allows for a lot of crowd control, and if you look back at some of my older videos, when I talk about games I played in the past, I will always say crowd control is massively underrated. It's one of those intangibles when it comes to working out damage and working out how useful they are to a team composition. Venti's ability to neutralize enemies, float them in the air, as well as damage and increase the damage you can do for your team via the Viridescent Venerate is invaluable to a team, and there's a reason why he is seen as the outlier in Genshin Impact. You should be summoning for Venti if you firstly play seriously or wish to play seriously in the future, secondly you wish to beat your personal bests or other people's personal bests or get the most damage out of your team, and lastly if you're struggling on certain aspects of Abyss without a shadow of a doubt, without sounding disrespectful to people who main Venti or use Venti a lot, like me, it does make it easier. It does make it easier. Saying that though, it doesn't mean it's going to be a crutch. I use Venti a lot. However, the new floor 12 on Spiral Bliss is basically Venti proof, and I did it 9 stars without Venti. So it's not as if just by using Venti you're activating easy mode. You know, you will manage to go on and learn the game in a way where you can play without Venti as well. What I want to do here is just give a brief, super quick TLDR guide as to why Venti is so strong. First of all, in this example, I'm using the Stringless. I'm not using the Favonius. And what that allows me to do is a bit of extra damage because you don't actually need that bonus energy recharge from Venti's weapon. If you have an energy recharge on one of your artifacts, he will self-fund his ult. And this is what makes him so broken, is the fact that he can self-fund his ult without the help of anybody else. And I'm going to show you in this example. We're coming into this dungeon, I believe, with about, let's have a look here. Yeah, about 80% ult, but what we're going to do is we're going to charge it. We're not going to do a single thing, and we're going to see how much ult we end up with afterwards. So I'm going to proc my E, generate the orbs, which will fund the ult. Okay, I'm now going to proc the ult. We're not going to do anything, we're just going to sit there, and nobody's quite dying at the moment. Going to use the hold E in the middle of that queue and see what we can do. As you can see, if you look at the bottom right, we're already back at 80%. A quick E, switch to Venti, pick up the orbs, collect, and we're back to a queue. Okay, obviously I started this dungeon with a bit of low health, so I'm probably going to die here. But it's just as an example, just to show you, it's now infused, and now you can basically, with your main DPS, in this case Hutao, Bennett, Diluc, you now have 40% elemental shred to pyro, which is just a huge damage buff for your characters like Diluc or Hutao or Bennett, who are already super strong, and now they can do a lot more damage than they could before. And as you can see, my queue's back up and we're back into CC mode. Very simple, very easy, and that is basically, in a nutshell, why Venti is so strong. Okay, so now I want to briefly talk about the other side of this argument, and that's the side of Tartaglia or Childe. First of all, let's talk about the main negative of Childe, is that when you're talking about him, let's say over the internet, or maybe if your fiance's in the house, they're going to hear really weird shit that's probably going to result in you being reported to the police, such as, fuck me, Childe, or fuck you, Childe, or Childe, you're shit, things like that. And things like that can normally get you in trouble. But moving on from that, the thing with Childe is, something people forget is that this game is your game. Your viewer, whoever you are, the viewer listening to this world is your world. And if you want to have fun with a dual-wielding Hydro user with ginger hair who's a member of the Fatui, then you go ahead and feel free, because Childe is a lot more fun to use than Venti. I know, sometimes doing huge numbers or CCing isn't always the most fun thing. Childe is great, he can do huge damage numbers against
never just did things just to do them. Come on, I mean, what am I gonna do? Just all of a sudden just jump up and grind my feet on somebody's couch like it's something to do. Come on, I got a little more sense than that. Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch,
Against multiple enemies in a vape comp. He's just cool. Just look at him. He's got dual daggers. Who doesn't like using dual wielded daggers? Everybody loves that. On top of that, in a group scenarios, he can put out big numbers. We're talking big numbers when you group enemies together. It is niche and it needs to be in an elemental reaction. And, you know, with a Xingqiu, he can put out some decent damage. But unlike Venti, Childe isn't viable in every scenario. And that is why Venti is so good, is that he is practically viable in any team you've got going, bar technically when you're playing against a lot of big enemies like Spiral Abyss at the moment, where I think you probably get more value out of some other characters in that situation than you would out of a Venti. Some people will say the Shred is just worth it, but that's the thing with Venti. He's just more applicable in more situations. However, if you like the look, I summoned for Childe because I really liked the fact he was a member of the Fatui, and I want to have every member of the Fatui. I think it's cool. I like the lore behind the Fatui, and that's perfectly fine. And I just wanted to present that side of the argument because, you know, I joke a lot on stream and I say, you know, there's only one answer, it's Venti. And, you know, if you're playing seriously and you're playing to increase your times or better your times or make your life easier, yes, Venti is the answer. But there is a big argument to be made that Childe is a lot of fun to play. It's enjoyable just to watch all the procs go off and all the damage to go across multiple enemies. You know, he is really good. Yes, he's niche, and yes, managing his E is a bit of a pain in the backside, but he can work very well with a Hu Tao. If you got Hu Tao recently, he works brilliantly with a Xiangling and a Xingqiu. And if you have Xiangling and Xingqiu, 2 free 4 stars, I would seriously consider, if you want to play for a bit more fun than seriousness, summoning for Childe. That's all I really got to say about that. I just wanted to get that out there because I think sometimes some people have been made to feel guilty for summoning for Childe over Venti, and I joke about it a lot. But you know, if you're playing seriously, yes, you're going to summon for Venti. But I just wanted to show that Childe can be fun. There's some background footage here where I do nice setups, and it's just fun just to hit everyone with dual daggers or a huge staff and just slap them all in the face. But yeah, that's it. Super unedited. Probably doesn't sound very professional, but just thought I'd put this out there really. Other than that, take care. And we'll see you on stream on Wednesday. Don't forget, 36,000 Primo Gems for Venti. Stick around, like, subscribe. 36,000 Primo Gems for Venti. Twitch links down below. Take care, and I will see you guys very soon.